Hi guys, and welcome to DIY Hair School. My name is Jillian. I'm a professional hairstylist, and I'm here to teach you how to do your own hair at home. In today's video, we are going to be talking all about prepping your hair for styles. This prep is good for any hair to ensure that your styles will last and look the way they do on Pinterest, or at least as close as you can get them. But it is especially important if you have hair like mine that is thin and fine and quite flat. First and foremost, all of these things are going to work best on healthy hair. So if your hair is not in its optimal health, head back to one of my previous videos where you can get some tips on how to check the health of your hair and how to improve the health of your hair. If your hair is healthy, you are ready to go. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with freshly washed, cleaned, blow-dried hair. You are going to blow dry your hair upside down and then in the opposite directions that you wear it, in all directions. And importantly, you are not going to brush your hair before you start to blow dry it. I know this sounds scary and you're going to say, I can't brush my hair if I don't brush it before I blow dry it. It's just going to be a tangled mess. But I promise you, if you just start to blow dry your tangled hair with a little bit of leave-in conditioner, maybe some smoothing products on your ends if you get a bit of frizz, those tangles will start to fall out. Most of the tangles will be gone by the time you're done blow drying your hair. The reason you don't want to brush your hair before you blow dry it is A, it's just better not to brush wet hair because it will break more easily, and B, your hair will stretch the most when it's wet. So if you brush it out when it's wet, you are going to be stretching out your hair strands and making your hair even flatter than it already is. Now, if I am going to be wearing my hair in a style that is parted to the side, I will always blow dry my hair in a center part. This is because when I flip my hair to either side, I will have a lot of lift in my roots because I am now pulling the roots in the opposite direction that they were dried, and this creates a lot of lift in the root area. If your hair is very stubborn and is constantly trying to work its way back to where you normally part it, this is normal. My hair does not do this anymore, but that is because I part my hair in all different directions all the time. If your hair is constantly trying to go back to where you usually wear it, that's just an indicator that you need to move your part more and play with having different parts in your hair, and your hair will get used to not always being parted in the same place and then will stay where you. Now that your hair is blow dried and ready to go and has heat protection, you are going to create big curls or waves in your hair with a large barreled curling iron or wand. If you don't have a big one, you can use a smaller one, but for most messy undone styles that people like to do, I find a larger barrel works better because it doesn't create such a ringlet. Your curls don't need to be particularly perfect because you are not going for a perfect curled look and are likely going to be putting your hair up. It is just about getting some texture in your hair because texture creates volume. Matter what direction you do your curls in. I try to do different directions. I don't really worry about alternating on a specific rotation or anything. I just curl my hair in the way that is most comfortable for me in each section and just try to make sure I get curls all throughout my hair and don't miss any pieces. I also don't worry too much about curls being tighter than other curls. It doesn't really matter. Again, we're just creating texture. We're not trying to create perfect curls to create a specific wave pattern or anything like that. We're just trying to get some texture in that hair so it's not so flat. And I know people are going to ask me where this flat iron is from. I can look at the brand after, but honestly, I just got it for like $45 at Winners. I do love professional brands, but this is a tool that I use personally and not in my salon. And I buy so many that sometimes it gets expensive to buy them all professional. So somewhere like Winners will often have some pretty decent ones. I just look for ceramic because I prefer ceramic. I find it a bit more gentle on my hair, and something that gets up to at least 400 degrees, because I find if it's not hot enough, then the styles just don't last in my hair. And I don't mind using it on really high heat because I just don't use heat on my hair very often in the first place. If I was using heat on my hair every day, I would probably opt for a lower temperature, but most tools do have temperature settings. So then before you touch your curls at all, no matter how they look, leave them alone until there is absolutely no more heat left on those curls. You want to let them fully cool before you touch them. Okay, once your curls have sufficiently cooled, I like to take some dry shampoo. I know your hair's clean, but dry shampoo is going to just absorb any oil in your roots that is there, even though your hair is clean, because we all know if you have fine hair, your hair is probably already oily, even if you washed it an hour ago. And it is also going to prevent any oil from building up and weighing down your hair throughout the day. So we are just going to lift up sections. You don't want to overdo it because, like I said, your hair isn't dirty, but just getting a little bit of dry shampoo through all of that hair and then shake it out. And you can see already how much volume we've created just by putting in those big curls. And then you're gonna take a dry texture spray. This is not a wet spray. It comes out in a powder, very similar to a dry shampoo, but it's gonna have a little bit more hold and more grit, so it's gonna create more texture in the hair. This is what's gonna help your curls not fall out because they're not going to be so soft and slippery. It certainly is going to leave your hair less touchable than you might like, but it won't be hard or crunchy like a finishing hairspray or anything like that. It will simply leave your hair with a dry texture, exactly what it's called. It is meant for going in dry hair. If you buy a texture spray that is meant for wet hair, it's going to come out wet. This stuff is going to come out dry like a powder, and that's what you want if you're putting it in dry hair to finish. So that you're just going to hold it away from your head and just give it a few shots in those mids and those ends, and that is just going to help you have buildable texture. The last product that I like, depending on how much I'm struggling with volume in my roots and how big I want my hair to be, is I will use a dry volumizing powder. My favorite two are the Powder Play by Big Sexy Hair or the Puff Me. I actually kind of like the Powder Play better, but I do love the Puff Me's little doohickey here where you can like squeeze it into your roots, as opposed to most of them are like this and you have to tap it in, and you can sometimes put a little too much in, but they're both pretty similar. I kind of use them both interchangeably. And putting that in is going to be almost like backcombing your roots without actually having to backcomb your roots, because we all know if you have fine hair, you don't want to have to deal with combing out all that backcombing later and probably breaking off a bunch of your hair. So this is it, guys. At this point, you would be ready to pop your hair up into a cute style, do a little updo, leave it down and curly, do a cute high ponytail that's got lots of texture. The options are just endless once you have prepped your hair, and you can be assured that your hair is not going to fall out. Thank you so so much for being here with me today, guys, on this episode of DIY Hair School. My name is Jillian, and I am here to help you do your own hair at home. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. You can check me out on TikTok at DIY Hair School or Instagram for quick tips and quick updo tutorials. And please comment below or on any of my other accounts or send me a message and let me know what you would like to see content-wise from me.